To remove the back panel, we're going to slide this hinge lock to one side and pull the entire panel down. That lifts up and out of place. To remove the battery on this device, we're going to slide our locking pin to the side, pull on the secondary locking pin, and if you can't find the little plastic tab, just dig your fingernails in or a screwdriver and lift up and out of place. With the battery removed, we have the option to pull out our hard drive right here, but you would undo your 4 screws, pull the tab, and slide this out of place. To remove the keyboard on this device, there are 2 screws that you have to remove, each marked by this tiny little symbol right here. And even though there is a 3rd symbol, this is actually where we press through to lift the keyboard. We're going to undo each of those 2 screws. And they do have spring retaining washers on them, so you don't have to worry about them falling out. From here, it can get a little tricky because we need to flip the device up, open it, have some type of pry device to fit in right here. We're going to use this screwdriver. Then flip the device over so you can see the keyboard, where you can press up right here so that you can get a finger underneath. And then you'll hold and slowly pop the tabs going around this keyboard. From here, the keyboard can be lifted up, but you can't remove it yet because we still have our ribbon cables underneath. So you'll tilt our device up, and there are 3 ribbon cables, one for the track point, one for the backlight, and one for the keyboard itself. We're going to undo that main cable right here. We're going to undo the one for the trackpad, and we're also going to undo that one for the backlight. And then the entire keyboard lifts up and out of place. After the keyboard has been removed, we're going to take out our touchpad next, and we are going to do that with these screws all the way around the sides. We're going to go ahead and pop out this SD card cover. Then we'll remove our networking port. We'll use our screwdriver to pry up both antennas, remove that set screw, and that networking card comes out. We're going to remove the last of our Phillips head screwdrivers that are going to hold our casing in place. We'll start by removing all of our screw covers. And fortunately, these are like a gel rubber, so you can actually save them and use them again, unlike the ones that are adhesive rubber that just kind of fall apart anytime you touch them. And then we should be able to lift up the entire outer casing. From here, we now have access to the interior layer of this motherboard chassis, and we're going to continue with removing this touchpad, which we should just have to remove this tiny little bridge cable right here to release connection for the entire touchpad, where we will lift from the back, because there are little retention clips, and move out, like so. These are actual glass touchpads that can shatter, so do be careful with these, but they are pretty easy to find on eBay if you do have an accident with one. We're just going to line it up with the slot, kind of work it into place, and drop it down. We'll take our tiny little ribbon cable that goes to the daughter board, making sure the lock is up, making sure the cable is snug before locking in place. Then we will take the bottom cover of our entire machine and very gently slot this into place, making sure nothing is getting in the way. No cables feel like they're being pinched. Then it is time to secure the outer chassis, so we will change bits once again. And we will install our Torx screws all the way around. And these are M2.5x5 Torx screws. And we'll go ahead and install all of those screws where they are marked all the way around the casing. Then we will secure in our touchpad with these wide brim screws. Then it's time to reinstall our networking card. Slot down, making sure not to pinch any of our antenna cables. We will take our retention screw and screw it back into place, being careful not to over tighten. Then we will reattach our antennas to our 2 antenna bays right here. Then it is time to put our keyboard back in. So we'll open up this device. We will fold the board in right here, and we will very slowly begin connecting these cables, being very careful not to break them. Once those are all in place, you will slowly take your keyboard, lock in the bottom feet, and from here we have our 2 keyboard screws, 1 and 2, and we will tighten those. We will slot this down and slide into place. And for good measure, we will secure the 4 screws on the side of the drive caddy. To install our battery, we will line up the bottom foot notches on the casing and press down. There will be a click, and then we'll slide our 1 locking pin over to the right, locking that battery in place. Then it's time to close up the device, where we will take our back panel, slot it down about a 1/4 inch offset, and click into place. Slide our locking pin to close.